So one of the best recipes in the world, I don't think you've heard of, is Torta Barozzi, originally known as Torta Nero before 1930s. In Italy, of course. I had it at a restaurant in Emilia-Romagna called Dai Mugnai. Now, it was a square of what looked like chocolate cake, and I bit into it. It was light. It was chocolatey, but not overpowering. It wasn't fudgy. It was absolutely delicious. This is a recipe I think you should add to your repertoire. If you like chocolate desserts, it is actually foolproof. Not a difficult recipe. First step is melt butter, quite a lot of it. Now we're gonna wait till we melt the butter. Okay, this has chocolate and cocoa, which makes a lot of sense. This is off heat, by the way, and espresso powder. So we're gonna let the chocolate soften as you would in most recipes, and that hot butter is gonna melt it, and then after a few minutes, we're gonna whisk it together. I find milk chocolate, actually, I never used to like it. I kind of am growing to like it because it's very smooth, and the chocolate flavor is not overpowering.
Are you getting soft?
Am I getting soft? I don't think I'm getting any crustier than I was, but I think I'm maintaining a good balance between being highly annoying and being impatient. So we're gonna let that cool down a little. You don't want to use a really hot mixture into egg yolks. Okay, we're going to do this by hand, sugar and egg yolks. Normally you would do this in a stand mixer or use an electric mixer. That's when you want a super light, ribbony texture. In this case, we're just going to do this for about 30 seconds just to mix it. So to be efficient, you want to keep the whisk in what you're whisking the whole time. So it's more of a back and forth motion than it is a circular motion.
It should just be creamy and fluffy and light.
Well, that's going to be more than 30 seconds. All right, West 911, I like that. And he starts off every segment yelling at somebody in the kitchen. I think that would be good.
The way I put it very nicely without screaming is, note to selves.
Whisk in the now cool chocolate mixture. There's no standard flour in this, just almond flour, a little bit of salt. All-purpose flour has no taste, no flavor, I'm sorry. So almond flour does have flavor. A little rum. This is great. Put your kids to sleep at night. They'll love it. Okay. So we had 4 whole eggs, used 4 egg yolks for here, using the 4 egg whites here. There are a lot of lessons with egg whites, but let's start at the beginning, which is we're gonna beat them until they get frothy. It takes about a minute. Okay, rule number 1, if you're beating egg whites for dessert, always take some of the sugar from the recipe and add it to the egg whites after they get frothy. This will stabilize the whites. You get a much creamier beaten egg white, much less likely to deflate during folding. Sugar or acid, lemon juice, cream of tartar, will help create a stable foam. Instead of looking thin and frothy, it's going to look thick and creamy. Rule number 3 is don't overbeat your whites. There are very few recipes you want really stiff whites. You're going to have to fold this into this. This is a thick batter. If you have stiff whites, never going to happen. You want what you may consider underbeaten whites. It's going to be easier to fold in. Rule number 4 is once egg whites start to thicken, they thicken fast. 10 seconds can make a difference between perfectly beaten soft whites and overbeaten stiff whites. Okay, just take your time. If you got to check 3 or 4 times, that's fine. Now that is just about done. Tip number 5, you can finish beating just by holding the whisk in your hand. So we're going to take a little bit of this as we normally would, because this batter is so thick because of the chocolate. You got to loosen it up a little. When I was starting to cook, they basically tell you to overbeat the whites. Everyone said stiff peaks, and that was not right. So it's just one of those things that always bothered me. So there are 2 things. You can go through the center like this to mix, and then you can go around the outside. It's a combination of those 2 things. And you want to now be fairly gentle. You may still see a few small streaks of egg whites in the batter. That's okay. It's really better to undermix it than overmix it. Okay, we're good here. When we bake something like this, I spray. You can butter the pan. Put a piece of parchment in at the bottom and then spray or butter that as well. So 350 oven, 30 to 35 minutes until the toothpick does not come out clean, but it has a little bit of moist crumb on it. The problem is when you cook chocolate, you're going to start to smell it, right? That means the flavor is coming out of the cake into the air. So you really do not want to overbake chocolate. If anything, you want to slightly underbake it because you're going to retain more of the flavor and the texture. So we've taken it out, inverted it, took the parchment paper off, inverted it again so it's right side up, let it cool. You could dust with confectioner's sugar. When I had it in Italy, it was cocoa powder. I'm going to cut big pieces. Why not?
You eat that whole thing, Chris.
As if this is going to be a chore.
Piece, you gotta eat the whole thing.
I was going like, this looks like a stomach bomb, right? It looks like a fudgy cake. The texture is not brownie-like. It's fairly light and soft. And also, the thing I like about it is I like the almond flour and the chocolate's not overpowering. Flourless chocolate cakes often have a 15-second window for either side, undercooked, overcooked. This is much more stable and much less responsive to exact timing. This is a very easy recipe to do, and it will always come out perfect.